Hey, what's up everybody? The new zooms are here for the month of July, and in this video, I'm going to review Inferno Maleficent Dragon from the Sleeping Beauty series. And the drop rates for Inferno Maleficent Dragon is going to be the same as Blue Fairy Godmother, but it is a little bit more difficult compared to Star Mickey. So for me, the drop rates were 30% for Inferno Maleficent Dragon compared to 40% for Star Mickey. And these drop rates are based on if you have all of the premium box zooms collected already, with the exception of the new zooms in July. Alright, so let's take a look at Inferno Maleficent Dragon's ability description. And it reads, clears a diagonal line of zooms and leaves zooms that clear surrounding zooms when connected. And I'll show you exactly what this means in just a little bit. But let's get into his stats. In order for you to activate Inferno Maleficent Dragon's ability, you'll need to clear a total of 19 copies of him off the screen. His minimum score is 40 with a maximum score of 1,216. So when it comes to scoring, it's not too bad. It's not the best out there, but it is a viable option to use when you have Inferno Maleficent Dragon at level 50. It can be a good score earner. And if you do want to get Inferno Maleficent Dragon to skill level 6, you'll need a total of 36 copies of him from the premium box. Alright guys, so if you're enjoying this type of content where I review zooms, do monthly leaks, and show you what the selection box and pickup capsules are all about, and figuring out which ones to get and which ones to avoid, then please consider subscribing to this channel. Your subscription really helps me out a lot. Alright, so let's get back into the skill chart. So whenever you level up Inferno Maleficent Dragon's skill, two things changes. So number one is a skill range, and this skill range is in reference to the fire blast that comes from his mouth. And then secondly is how many zooms on the screen will change into these special green zooms. So as you level up the skill level, it goes from extra small for the skill range all the way up to extra large. And the amount of zooms that will change will vary depending on which skill level. On average is about 1 change. So you go from 6 to 7 and then 7 to 8. But once you get to the higher skill level, so 4, 5, and 6, it doubles, or it goes to 2. So it goes from 10, then to 12, and to 14. So if you have him at skill level 6, your skill range is going to be extra large. So the entire screen, well, not the entire screen, but a majority of the screen is going to be cleared. And then you're also going to have 14 zooms change on the screen. And honestly, this second part doesn't matter too much, especially with the strategies that I'm going to show you on how to use him. So let's get into that, and let me show you a side-by-side comparison of skill level 1, 2, and 3. While I do that, I'll go over the strategy that I use and how to properly use him. Alright, so as a quick reminder, the difference between all three of the skill level is the skill range and the zooms that will change. So for skill level 1, the skill range is going to be extra small, and it's going to change 6 zooms. For skill level 2, the skill range is going to be small and changes 7 zooms. And for skill level 3, the skill range is going to be medium, changes 8 zooms. So the first thing you want to do when you're playing Inferno Maleficent Dragon is you want to start off the game and try to clear as many Inferno Dragons off the screen as you can. The objective is to activate his ability as quickly as possible. And once you do have one of the abilities charged up, you want to give it a couple of seconds to make sure the entire screen is full before you activate the ability. Because during the animation, the screen does freeze. So what that means is that zooms will not continue to fall. And this diagonal blast is very important. So you want to make sure that the entire screen is full before you activate it. I also consider using the gyro as well and tilt the screen to the left or to the right. That didn't matter too much. If you want to optimize that, you can. It does help a little bit, but it does add a little bit more time to the gameplay and a little bit more difficulty. So if you want to play with the gyro on, what you'll need to do is turn on gyro, and then right before you activate the ability, you'll flip from left to right. And once all the zooms fly to the right hand side, that's when you will hit the ability button. You will probably get 3 to 4 more zooms cleared off the screen, but you lose about an additional second. So there is a little bit of trade-off to that. So I don't recommend you to use the gyro when you're using Inferno Maleficent Dragon. And then the second thing you want to do is after you activate the ability, figure out where these special zooms are and try to make chains from them. Because these special zooms, what will happen is that when you connect them, they will burst surrounding zooms as well. So that's going to help you with the charge up. Now, if you have a lower level Inferno Maleficent Dragon, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because it's only going to change a total of 6 zooms on the screen. But do the best that you can, and after you make those chains and you really can't connect any more special zooms, then I will recommend you to pop those bubbles. Getting rid of those magic bubbles will also increase your chain for when the dragon fire blast happens. So you want to optimize that. So get rid of those bubbles as much as possible and then connect these long chains. So essentially that is the sequence that you want to follow. But let me slow this down and show you exactly how to use the ability and the sequence you want to follow. So it happens pretty quickly. So what I'm going to do is slow down these animations and walk you through exactly what I'm doing and the pattern that I use. So after you activate the ability, the dragon blast will occur. So if you take a look at the 3 different skill levels, you'll see that skill level 3 is significantly thicker. So it's a lot wider. So you're going to get almost double the amount of chains compared to skill level 1. And so skill level 2 is okay. It's like between skill level 1 and skill level 3. So I think starting at skill level 3 gets a lot thicker and better. So if you look at the chains here, for skill level 1, I end up with 15. Skill level 2, I got 24. And at skill level 3, I got double of what I got at skill level 1, which is 15. So now I got 31 for skill level 3. So it's a lot more effective when you're using a skill level 3 Inferno Dragon. So moving on here, after this part takes place, a bunch of Tsums on the screen will turn into these special Tsums, and they're going to glow green. And they're going to be random as well, so it doesn't matter how you set up the screen. They're just going to be random Tsums on the screen that will turn green. So focus on this and figure out where they are. Now, as the game resumes, what you want to do is start figuring out where you want to connect these chains. Ideally, you want them in the center or connect a really long chain. So let's turn to skill level 3 and I'll walk you through what I'm doing there. So for skill level 3, I saw that the Tsums in the center had a bunch of Inferno Maleficent Dragon. Now, you don't even necessarily need to connect all of them, because keep in mind, once you connect a chain with the Inferno Maleficent Dragon in them, all of the Tsums or all of the chains is going to burst surrounding Tsum. I did the same thing for skill level 1 and for skill level 2 as well. You don't need to make a long chain, just burst as many as possible. Once you've got rid of all of the special Tsums off the screen and you can't clear anymore, then start popping those bubbles, and ideally what you want to do is try to get yourself back into ability time or have your skill charged up as quickly as possible and repeat that cycle. Now, it is going to be a little bit more difficult for skill level 1, 2, and 3, but as you saw there for skill level 2, I was able to get right back into the ability time relatively quickly. So follow that pattern and hopefully you'll be able to activate the abilities as quickly as possible. So that is the strategy I would recommend you to use when you're using Inferno Maleficent Dragon. And overall, I really like his ability compared to the old Maleficent Dragon. Inferno Maleficent Dragon does have 2 components, so his ability is going to be a lot better than the regular Maleficent Dragon. When it comes to core earnings, he's on par. When you get him to skill level 6, he's going to be just as good as Blue Fairy Godmother. They're going to be very, very competitive. I've been practicing with both Tsums and I really do enjoy both of them equally, but I would say Inferno Maleficent Dragon is the easier one to use compared to all the new Tsums that we have right now. That's going to be out in the month of July. Alright, so let me show you the results for these 3 gameplays. For skill level 1, I ended up with 1,284 coins. For skill level 2, I got 2,131. For skill level 3, I got 2,354. So from a coin earning perspective, it's not too bad. It's not amazing, but it is going to significantly improve once you hit the higher levels. And for score, keep in mind these are lower level Tsums as well, and these are my first attempts, so my skill of using Inferno Maleficent Dragon isn't perfected yet, and still with decent results. So for skill level 1, I got 3.2 million, skill level 2, I got 6.1, and for skill level 3, I got 6.3. So overall, Inferno Maleficent Dragon's a decent Tsum. He does get significantly better at the higher skill level. So if you have the patience to invest your time in practicing and leveling him up, he could be a viable Tsum to earn coins, especially if you are newer to the game. Alright, so that's my review for Inferno Maleficent Dragon. I hope that you guys found this video helpful or at least entertaining. And if you guys would like to see more Tsum Tsum content just like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching.